Shana Tova. Welcome. Welcome home. Welcome back to Temple Hillel B'nai Torah, everyone on Zoom and everyone here in person. Welcome to this beautiful, inclusive sanctuary created with the transformative support of our Shevet Achim Gam Yachad committee, which means sitting together in unity. Many thanks to all of you who contributed so generously to upgrade our sanctuary with new seating and carpeting. The beautiful sign outside in the lobby includes the names of all who contributed to our Shevet Achim Gam Yachad campaign.
This is the first time so many of us are in this redesigned sanctuary. This Rosh Hashanah is truly a reunion to see some of us almost after 2 years and be present together in our temple building. It is our fervent prayer that soon all who wish to come to our sanctuary will be able to gather here in person. In the meantime, we are thankful for the blessing of Zoom, which offers us connection, and the blessing of your flexibility individually and collectively, all pulling together to get us this Shehecheyanu Rosh Hashanah moment.
Our new sanctuary represents so much of who we are and where we as a community hope to be at Hillel B'nai Torah, an open, welcoming, accessible, and inclusive space, a space where we can pray together, learn together, sing, and talk and connect. As we rededicate our new sanctuary, we also rededicate ourselves to being a more inclusive community for all people.
Inclusivity at HBT means all people, people who are Jewish, people who practice other religions or no religions, people who are brown or Black or Asian or white, people who identify as LGBTQ+ or straight, people with disabilities or not, older adults, newborn babies, single people, families. We welcome all here at this season and all year long.
Each of us at HBT approaches the work of inclusivity with a different set of experiences that have shaped and motivated us to get there.
As a Sephardic Jew from a non-practicing liberal family, attending an Ashkenazic Orthodox day school for 13 years in the 60s and 70s, I learned what it meant to be an outsider and not feel at home or at ease in my surrounding Jewish community. Each day presented me with challenges to finesse the balance between being included as a member of the more traditional Orthodox community of my fellow students and teachers, and struggling to feel known and respected for my family's values and traditions. For example, one day at the lunch table, classmates were talking about the 2 dishwashers each had in their homes, one for milk and one for meat. I told them this was great, and the way we did it in our family was one dishwasher or washing by hand all the dishes together and taking care not to waste water, making the point that my dad was an oceanographer and our family was environmentally conscious. I was met with disbelief. My classmates couldn't imagine mixing dishes together. Some of my classmates even exclaimed, yuck. They became uncomfortable, and then so did I. As I think back on that moment, it exemplifies what it meant to me to try and navigate between the values I learned from my family and the slice of Judaism that is the Orthodox viewpoint. As I look back on my experience of living at this intersection, I see how it taught me to seek to continually expand the boundaries of community so that all are welcome, which is what didn't happen at my Jewish school, but what we seek to do routinely here at Hillel B'nai Torah. This perspective made it possible for me to live a Jewish life in an interfaith marriage with my beloved partner, Bruce Mallory. For 30 years, we have engaged in an ongoing conversation of how together we can create and share a Jewish home and raise children with strong Jewish identities. We have worked our way through questions of taking off time from work to celebrate Jewish holidays and Christmas with our extended family, sending kids to Jewish day school, and keeping a cheeseburger pan in our kosher kitchen. We enjoy a loving marriage across our different faith identities. This perspective of expanding boundaries of community shaped my commitment and desire to advance inclusion and racial justice both inside and outside my own community. That is our vision for what we are continually building here at HBT, regardless of whether you have one dishwasher or two, or you wash your dishes by hand.
And my motivation for building inclusivity and community comes from my parents. Many of you know Debbie Rosenblatt, a beloved presence here at Temple in person and virtually. But few of you knew my dad, Norman Rosenblatt, who died 30 years ago, not too long after the High Holy Days in 1991. As a boy growing up in Chelsea, he was the target of hatred because he was Jewish and because his family was not wealthy. In his college days, his postgraduate work, and his entire career, he committed himself to fighting for justice. Indeed, just like the banner outside our temple, the words Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue, grace his headstone at the Framingham Natick Jewish Cemetery. My dad worked to create anti-racist communities long before we used the word anti-racist. He did this during his decades-long career at Northeastern University, where he was a good friend of Jocelyn's dad, we came to find out. As a history professor, provost, and ultimately as the second dean of the College of Criminal Justice. He reached out to Black and Brown leaders of the Roxbury community, Northeastern students, the Boston Police Department, and stood side by side with them to create greater equity in Boston. He was a founder of the African American Institute and a founder of the African American Artists in Residence program at Northeastern. What my dad taught me about justice, community, and equity has been a part of me for 50 years. I think of him whenever I enter the sanctuary, especially today when we all enter the sanctuary together, and I know how at home he would feel here with my mom, in a synagogue that is inclusive, in an organization that leaves 100 Corey Street with the intention of connecting with and supporting our community.
And as we look around us across this calming, peaceful, beautiful sanctuary, whether you're in the room or on Zoom, let us acknowledge all the good work we have started and will continue to engage in to strengthen the HBT community so that every community member feels welcome and can equitably benefit from what our community offers us.
As we look ahead to the coming year of 5782, we know that Temple HBT, our community, has tremendous strength. Our hardworking, dedicated, and caring staff, Rabbi Pensner, Benita Block, Hillary Pinsker-Engler, Laurie Spackman, and Moreno Guzman, give 150% every day. Our committed, creative, and insightful board, and many committees which are led by and include members whose efforts for Temple just do not stop and impact all that happens inside these walls and outside in the broader community.
Thank you and Yasher Koach to our committees, their leaders and members who have held us together this year, helped us to grow and flourish, supported us, and led the way for HBT to work toward becoming more inclusive and more anti-racist. This includes HBT's board and steering committee, Chaverim School and School Committee Tikkun Olam, Avodah, Finance, Security, Kavod Lekulam, Membership, Lifelong Learning, Technology, and Chesed committees, our COVID task force, Inclusion Task Force, and HBT's Anti-Racism Advisory Group.
This year, what we have to share with you in this beautiful new sanctuary on Rosh Hashanah is a powerful statement of gratitude for all of you who have worked so hard to hold our community together and for the hope and faith that we will maintain our communal strength, the strength of Hillel B'nai Torah to engage our temple family and our broader community in times of tremendous challenge and uncertainty, the strength to actively create a spiritual and physical communal space where all members feel welcome and secure, and all members receive the benefits of what our community can provide, the strength to carry on and celebrate together. Your generosity makes this all possible.
As we welcome 5,782, we ask you to consider making a gift to our High Holy Day Appeal to help Temple HBT sustain and expand our meaningful programming and community supports. Your gift will ensure that we have the supplies and supports to create community. Your gift will make it possible for Haverim School students to learn and grow together. Your gift will support the extraordinary leadership of Rabbi Pensner every day. Your gift will keep us in communication with each of you and will keep you in touch with each other. For many of our members this year, the HBT community has been a lifeline, a point of connection, a source of strength. Together, we will continue to forge an inclusive community. We will strengthen the world, the country, the city, the Jewish people, all of our families, and ourselves.
We hope you already saw the email appeal from Temple sent a few days ago, and we'll send a follow-up after Rosh Hashanah. You can make your gift of any amount, which is so greatly appreciated, on the Temple's secure website or by sending a check to the Temple office.
All that you give makes a difference now more than ever. On behalf of the HBT board, thank you very much for your support and for being a part of our very special Temple HBT family.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.